Back to school shopping is well underway, and in less than a month now, kids will be back to school. The first day for many area districts is Tuesday, September 5th. A new school year brings new opportunities, new challenges, and in some cases, new faces. In the Anoka-Hennepin School District, it's a new superintendent who comes from Osseo Schools. This weekend in Newsmakers, I spoke with Cory McIntyre to discuss a wide range of school topics. A new school year, a new assignment for you, but it's kind of like going back home, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm fortunate.
Yeah.
Was in Anoka-Hennepin before my opportunity in Osseo, and I really feel like that time in Anoka-Hennepin prepared me as much as it could be for Osseo. You know, no one was ready for the pandemic, right? But those 4 years in Osseo as superintendent now, I feel like has prepared me for coming, back to Anoka-Hennepin and giving me a running start to jump right in.
Do you feel like school districts, no matter the size or whatever the case may be, can carry those lessons from the pandemic over and maybe have changed the way districts or even within classrooms do things that have carried over?
Yeah, that's a good observation. I think there's a lot of similarities, and yet each community is different, right? But some of those lessons we all learned transfer. We had a shared experience nationally, locally, so some of the challenges and opportunities are the same, but it's really like what does each community and school district need that the parents and the students desire, right? So yeah, there's a lot of similarities.
What challenges or opportunities do you feel like Anoka-Hennepin faces? Largest by enrollment in the state, and it covers quite a spread across several communities and across two counties and things like that. Are there particular challenges that you embrace or you are looking at already in terms of opportunities?
Yeah, my experience there before, I got a window into that coming in. Our enrollment's stable. We still have some growth happening in the northwest part of Anoka-Hennepin and Anoka County, and we still have about 8,000 or more students in Hennepin County, right? So we have had pretty stable enrollment. Long term, we're really focused on a few things. Maintaining that strong enrollment, strong financial planning. That's been a strong stability factor for us, along with how do we do better with just the real fundamental things, reading, math, science, and also just overall well-being, mental health, and physical health. Those are really the key things that we got to stay attuned to, along with everyone's got workforce shortage challenges right now. So how do we meet the needs of our staff?
Let's talk about a few of those. Mental health you brought up, it's been in the spotlight, obviously the leftover or the hangover, if you want to call it, from the pandemic, but it's more than that. Kids, there are acute needs that are becoming more talked about and more visible in some cases. How does the school district try to continue to meet those needs and find new opportunities?
Yeah, I think it's more acceptable to talk about it now too, right? And it's all about connection. If our students can have at least one adult or more that they have a connection to, it starts with that. It doesn't need to be really all that hard. But then we have students who have really significant challenges too, so we've really tried to develop a range of supports and services to meet those needs, and really listening to our families about how can we be a strong resource. Because the more there's a connection and stability around mental health, now we've opened the door to stronger learning academically.
When it comes to workforce, keeping teachers in classrooms, employing, recruiting new teachers, but also the support staff that keeps the school district or a school itself running. Are there continuing to be challenges hiring and getting enough qualified people to apply for these jobs?
Absolutely. I think every industry is struggling with that still. And we look at it right now, if you're in education, you can kind of work anywhere. So why would you want to work in Anoka-Hennepin? We kind of ask ourselves that question, how do we recruit better? And then once we have how do we take care of our employees, and how do we make sure that we're the place they want to be? And I think oftentimes wages and benefits are one thing, but having that connection about who you work for and who you work with matters a lot as well. So we're short-handed like most school districts are, and we're trying to grow our own staff and help people understand that a career in education is a powerful one, and the purpose factor there is huge. It's about serving our families and serving our kids.
And you mentioned classroom performance. Parents have a lot to say about what's going on in the classrooms lately. It comes into school board meetings, it comes into calls and concerns and things like that. Are you listening to what parents are saying, and they're focused on what's being taught or what's on the bookshelf or things like that? Are you listening to that?
We always have to be listening to that, right? And really making sure we're tuned into what do our our clients, our who we serve, what they're looking for. And I think even though there's different opinions about how to do that, I think there's a shared common goal that absolutely we're tuned into doing better. How do we get better reading scores or performance, math, science? In the end, how do we meet the workforce demands that are out there in the state and our local economies that they need? So are we preparing our scholars and our students to be walking right into that workforce, whether it's college or something else in the trades, those kinds of things. So we're always listening, not only to families, but what do our employers and our local communities need us to be providing to them when they graduate, when our students graduate.
Okay, Cory McIntyre back again at Anoka-Hennepin Schools as the new superintendent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.